These healthy drinks are silently wrecking your metabolism every day. I'll show you what to stop drinking immediately and the best foods to flip your body into full healing mode. If you skip this, you're sabotaging your fat loss without even knowing it. This changes everything. The first drink you should never touch are oat milk lattes. It's very popular to go to the coffee shop and ask for a milk substitute like oat milk. They're marketed as being plant-based, heart healthy, dairy-free. And yes, they are plant-based, they are dairy-free, but they're not healthy. Oat milk is basically liquid glucose with a ton of chemicals. A standard cup of an oat milk latte will spike your blood sugar levels and tell your metabolism store fat by producing insulin. But it's not just the glucose spike you get from your oat milk latte. Oats are sprayed with glyphosate. Glyphosate is a weed killer. It's a known endocrine disruptor, and it's also poison to your mitochondria, the little battery packs within your cells that are responsible for producing energy and helping you burn fat. On top of that, these barista blends of oat milk and oat milk lattes contain inflammatory oils like canola oil and soybean oil, and also artificial gums and sweeteners, and added sugar, which causes that glucose spike. So your morning cup of a healthy oat milk latte is actually doing more harm than it is helping you. The second drink that I would avoid are going to be fruit juices. Yes, even 100% organic cold-pressed fruit juice can be problematic for most people. You see, when you juice fruit, you strip away the fiber. The fiber slows digestion and buffers that glucose response. Without the fiber, it's a quicker digesting drink and a higher glucose spike after you drink it. In some cases, these fruit juices can contain as much sugar as a can of soda. When you get this concentrated dose of fructose from these fruit juices, it overloads your liver. This leads to accumulation of fat around your liver called fatty liver disease. It could also raise uric acid levels, which can trigger gout, which then leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, weight loss resistance, and an increase in your triglycerides. Triglycerides are essentially fat in your bloodstream. All of this is problematic. So instead of the fruit juice, if you want fruit, eat the whole fruit. The third drink I would avoid is going to be kombucha. Kombucha is very popular these days and being marketed as being gut friendly, gut healthy. And yes, kombucha could contain probiotic strains that help your gut microbiome, but here's the problem with kombucha. Most brands contain 9 to 12 grams of sugar in a single bottle. When you consume it, there's going to be a glucose response, then an insulin response, and then your body is storing fat, not burning that fat. Some brands contain caffeine and hidden artificial flavors as well. And here's another problem that you might not be aware of. When you consume the same kombucha day after day, week after week, you actually can create monocultures in your gut microbiome. You see, we want different strains of bacteria. And if you consume the same strains from the same brand over and over and over, that's actually not good for your gut microbiome. So if you choose to do kombucha, you want to go for a kombucha that has no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and you want to rotate them by taking some days off, going to different brands and different strains. There's a right way to do it. The fourth drink I would never touch are going to be sports drinks. Yes, kids drink them, and so do adults. Do they contain electrolytes? Yes. But let's look at what else they contain. They contain artificial dyes, in some cases seed oils, I don't know why they put that in there, and a lot of sugar. Even these zero sugar varieties can be problematic because they contain artificial sweeteners like sucralose and isosulfame potassium, which we know can disrupt the gut microbiome. So what's a better option here? 8 to 12 ounces of high quality spring water, add in some high quality salt, potassium, and some magnesium, and maybe squeeze in some lemon. Or find a company that produces high quality electrolytes that are actually healthy for you. The ones that I like are going to be Redmond's Relight, Keto Chow. They have a product called Salt Tea, and the most available one out there is going to be Ultima, and I'll drop links for those down below. The fifth liquid that I would avoid is going to be almond milk, and I'll tell you a quick story here. I was at lunch with a good friend of mine a couple weeks ago who's on a path to get healthy, to lose weight, and he's a very smart guy. And we were at lunch, and we ordered a latte, and he requested an almond milk latte, and I said, hold on, Alex. Do you realize that almond milk is actually not a good option for you? And he was surprised. He said, wait, what? I've been drinking almond milk lattes for years thinking I was choosing a healthier option. He didn't even enjoy the taste. I told him, here's the reason why you don't want almond milk. Number one, it actually doesn't even contain that many almonds. It's mostly water and like 2 to 5% almonds. It also contains carrageenan, which is a gut disruptor. Sometimes it contains seed oils. And this overloads your body with omega-6 fats that cause inflammation in the body and in the gut. Not to mention that almonds have a high amount of oxalates, which are anti-nutrients that also create inflammation in your gut. So I said, Alex, get heavy cream, get whole milk, get half and half. It tastes better and it's healthier for you as well. And he was actually relieved because he prefers the taste of those options. So you do the same thing. The sixth liquid I would avoid is going to be diet sodas and zero-calorie seltzers and drinks. Yes, they are calorie-free, but they're not consequence-free. Artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, associated potassium, these disrupt the gut, create inflammation in your gut lining, and can also trigger cravings later in the day. So just remember, zero sugar doesn't mean zero problems. If you want a healthier swap for these, go for Zevia, which is a stevia-flavored carbonated drink, or go with Spindrift, which has just natural fruit and low amounts of sugar. And it's also a carbonated drink. So Zevia and Spindrift, better options for you. The seventh liquid I would avoid before I get to the 5 best fat-burning foods are going to be green juices. This is the wellness industry's darling, green juices. But here's the thing. Most bottles contain 30 to 40 grams of sugar. That is a sugar bomb. That causes a huge increase in your blood sugar levels. Massive amounts of insulin are being produced, and you're not burning fat. You're not living healthier. You're actually creating inflammation and storing fat. Even the ones with kale and spinach, which, by the way, kale and spinach are not healthy because they're loaded with oxalates. The first ingredient are going to be apple, pear, pineapple juice, something that contains sugar. And without fiber, as I mentioned, big glucose spike goes right to your liver and creates liver fat accumulation. So bottom line, drinking your veggies is not the same as eating your veggies. So those are the 7 liquids destroying your metabolism. What should you do instead? Here are 5 of the best fat-burning foods that lower inflammation and help you tap into visceral fat and belly fat. The first food is eggs with the yolk. The yolk actually has more nutrition than the egg whites, and it's packed with choline. Choline is such an important nutrient for your liver. It's also important for fat metabolism. Yolks contain B vitamins and all of the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K that help your metabolism burn fat and your mitochondria produce energy. The yolk of the eggs contain cholesterol. And cholesterol is one of the most important building blocks for all of your hormones, your brain function, your liver, and vitamin D production. Cholesterol is not the boogeyman. Cholesterol is one of the most vital fats for your metabolism. So I call eggs Mother Nature's multivitamins. You just want to make sure when you eat your eggs or cook your eggs, you don't overcook them. They should be soft scrambled, soft boiled, or even poached. You don't want to overcook the eggs, and cook them in a healthy fat like butter or beef tallow. The second healthy fat-burning food is red meat. I know red meat has been demonized over the years as being cancer-causing, something that's inflammatory, but red meat is one of the most anti-inflammatory, most powerful fat-burning foods on the planet. We've been eating red meat since humans have existed. Red meat is a complete protein that helps with amino acid delivery to your mitochondria, which helps you produce energy and helps you burn fat. Essentially, it is great for your metabolism. Red meat is rich in creatine and B vitamins and heme iron. It also has the heme iron that is more absorbable versus the plant heme iron called non-heme iron. And if you go with the grass-fed, grass-finished variety, which is always best, it will have high amounts of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. I talk about the benefits of conjugated linoleic acid in chapter 11 of my latest book, Metabolic Freedom. Studies show CLA can help you burn belly fat, and red meat has a high concentration of it. So when you eat the red meat, the redder, the better. So medium rare. You don't want to eat the red meat well done because you lose a lot of these benefits. The third powerful food is going to be avocados. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, high in potassium. You may not know this, but one avocado has twice as much potassium than a whole banana. Without the sugar you get from a banana, and potassium is one of the most important electrolytes for your metabolism. Avocados keep insulin low, stabilize your blood sugar. They taste delicious. And they contain phytosterols, which lower inflammation, B vitamins, which help lower stress and support your adrenal glands. So I would consume half an avocado to a full avocado every day and watch what it does for your body and for your metabolism. The fourth food, superfood, are small, fatty, wild-caught fish. Here's an acronym I always want you to remember: SMASH. Any of the options from the SMASH acronym when they're wild-caught are so great for your metabolism. So here's the SMASH acronym. We have salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. When you consume that, they're rich in EPA and DHA, which are omega-3 fats that support your brain and lower inflammation. They also help with insulin resistance, they help with fatty liver disease, and they help with overall metabolism function, but also with lowering inflammation and allowing your fat-burning hormones to do their job. The fifth food is going to be a surprising one, and that's fermented raw cheese. When you consume grass-fed fermented raw cheese, it contains probiotics, bioavailable calcium, and vitamin K2. This helps to shuttle calcium into the bones, not the arteries. Fermented cheese also contains a good amount of CLA, the conjugated linoleic acid that I talked about earlier that helps you burn fat. So this is going to be raw brie from France, raw goat cheese as well, aged Parmesan cheese from Italy, Gruyere cheese from Switzerland, and Pecorino sheep cheese from Italy. Any of those options are great, and you can find most of them at Whole Foods Supermarket and most supermarkets across the US. Now I'm going to get to the questions you submitted on this topic. Before I do, I want to give you a free resource. This is my Burn Fat ebook. It's going to teach you how to lose 10 pounds of fat in 7 days following 3 simple rules. You could read this ebook in less than 30 minutes, apply it, and after 7 days of applying what you learned, you're going to feel better and look better, and it'll get you some great momentum. So if you scan the QR code on the screen here or go to burnfatebook.com or click the link down below, you could download it for free. Also, I'm currently doing a speaking tour for my latest book, Metabolic Freedom. I'd love to see you in person. We're doing book signings and meet and greets, and I'm speaking all across the US, the Middle East. We're adding feature dates as well. If you go to benazadi.com/events, you could see where I'm speaking next. Now let's get to your questions. What should I drink instead of oat milk or almond milk in my coffee? Well, I mentioned the heavy cream is better. Half and half is better. Even whole milk is better. But if you want a plant-based option that's healthier than almond milk and the oat milk, that's going to be unsweetened macadamia nut milk and unsweetened coconut milk. Those are better options. Can I drink coconut water? Does that spike blood sugar too? Coconut water is better than juices for sure. If you had it around a workout, that's better, but it also depends on how healthy your metabolism is. So I will have coconut water after 2 hours of basketball, but I'm not having it as a regular drink. I don't think it's healthy for you to just have as a drink because it could spike blood sugar, but after a workout, that's fine. You're not going to get a big blood sugar spike. Is sparkling water without artificial sweeteners safe to drink? 100%. Yes, I drink it all the time. My favorite brands for sparkling water is Gerolsteiner, San Pellegrino, and Mountain Valley, and also Saratoga sparkling water. How much meat is safe to eat each week? Look, I eat meat, red meat, pretty much every single day. I've done lab work, showed you my lab work. I did 90 straight days of red meat. It transformed my health, so you could have it pretty much every single day. Are eggs still okay to have if I have high cholesterol? Yes. As long as it's not overcooked and you're not cooking it with the seed oil, high cholesterol is not an issue. You may or may not know this, but more people die from heart disease with normal to low cholesterol than high cholesterol. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts to cholesterol. I have a lot of podcast episodes on that, but I wouldn't be concerned about that. There you have it. That's the protocol. Follow these steps. You're going to burn fat and feel good. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. And by the way, speaking of eggs, I posted a video recently that's gone viral on what happens to your metabolism when you eat 4 eggs every single day. Here's a clip from that video. Then click the video on the screen and watch the full lesson. I'll see you there. This is going to be really controversial. It might piss off your cardiologist, but we'll get into the research on why I chose eggs as that one superfood to consume every day for at least the next 30 days, the right way to shop for eggs, how to cook your eggs, and if eggs actually increase risk of heart disease. You know, one of the big things that people say